Unemployment in Ghana has been a lingering problem for many decades. Ghana is currently faced with 12% youth unemployment and more than 50% underemployment, both of which are higher than overall unemployment rates in sub-Saharan African countries. Despite major investments by both the government and the private sector, this challenge will intensify if job opportunities remain limited. ASEPA's report follows the news of thousands of unemployed youth massing up at last week's Youth Employment Agency job fair to secure jobs with companies in the private sector. The report was to carefully analyze Ghana's unemployment situation, its causes, and what should be done immediately to mitigate its effect on the economy and the citizenry. Given recommendations from the report, the Executive Director of ASEPA, Mensa Thompson, asked government to, as a matter of urgency, terminate the contracts of civil service workers above the retirement age to make room for younger persons.
What we are calling for is an urgent action for government to, as a matter of urgency, issue a caveat for all public service workers who are above the retirement age to proceed on compulsory retirement. Those who have been given 1 year contract and 2 years contract must all be immediately terminated. We believe that there are about 40% of such people making up our labor force. If we do this, we can free up the labor force, the civil service, and we can employ at least 30% of our young graduates who are out there looking for jobs. Now, you know that the salary of a senior citizen or a senior public servant is very high. That salary can employ not less than 3 or 4 fresh graduates.
Mensa Thompson further provided long-term recommendations as to how the unemployment problem can be tackled.
We believe that government must refocus on agriculture so that every year our graduates who come after school, at least 40% of our graduates must be channeled towards agriculture. We want government to ensure that there's total reduction of the lending rate. We believe that high lending rate makes it difficult for people to create businesses in the country and employ people. Elsewhere in Japan, you can get a loan as low as 3%, in the US 5%, in Europe between 5 to 10%. In Ghana, even though the Bank of Ghana policy rate is about 13.5%, banks are still lending at an exorbitant price of about 37%. How can people create jobs? We also want government to do what we call urgent fiscal reforms to reposition, our fiscal program, our fiscal framework to stimulate growth rather than what we have now. We also want government to enforce the laws, the regulations that bar foreigners from participating in certain aspects of our labor market.